Today we're going to be looking at Magic the Gathering creatures that call for reinforcements. Okay, we're going to start off with Conduit of Ruin. This is a 6-mana 5/5 Eldrazi. When you cast Conduit of Ruin, you may search your library for a colorless creature card with converted mana cost 7 or greater. So it's going to be even more dangerous than a 5/5 creature. Reveal it, shuffle it, shuffle your library, and put that card on top of it. It's going to be coming next turn. The first creature spell you cast each turn costs 2 less to play, which, in Eldrazi world, people like a discount, all right? Things are expensive in the Eldrazi world. Inflation is insane. They could use a discount over here. Now, to some clarity about today's show, it's got to be cards that either they need reinforcements, they need help, they got to search for other creatures or planeswalkers and get them into the games or into your hand on top of your library, or put the cards directly onto the battlefield. Tokens are no good. Tokens are usually part of the cavalry itself. They're coming at the same time. So look at Abzo's Winota. You really had to start off with a heavy hitter now, didn't you? This card is, it's busted. It's already banned in quite a few formats. It's a white-red, 2 generic 4/4 human warrior. Whenever a non-human creature you control attacks, look at the top 6 cards of your library. You may put a human creature card from among them onto the battlefield tapped and attacking. It gains indestructible. I don't understand the indestructible part of this. Was that really necessary? Bold in the face, Winota. Everyone's more bold in the with Winota leading them. Anyway, it's indestructible until end of turn. Put the rest of the cards on the bottom of your library in a random order. This calls the cavalry in a big way. And quickly and fast. It's like, look at the top, whatever cards your library. Put everything on the battlefield. It's got haste. It's indestructible. Just go at them. Don't care about what happens. There's no liabilities around here. All right, next up. Oh boy, with the Sylvia Bright Spear. Very bright around here. Is a 3-mana 2/2 creature. Partner with Korvoth Bright Flame, double strike. Dragons your team controls have double strike. I wouldn't count this. This creature... Oh, sorry. No, maybe I do count this. I'm sorry. It's when this creature enters the battlefield, target player may put Korvoth into their hand from their library and then shuffle. I'm sorry. I misunderstood what partner was. I thought they're both like commanders. Partner with Korvoth. When this creature enters the battlefield, target player, which is going to be you, put Korvoth into their hand from their life. Now, this 100% works. Sorry about that. Do I just not know what partner is? Or am I just mixing up mechanics? Wizards does that. They bleed these mechanics together. They name them incredibly similar things. Partner also searches. Well, that's just great. A mechanic that could be your planeswalkers also simultaneously can be a tutor at the same time. Thanks for making this a really streamlined, non-confusing mechanic, Wizards. Okay, next up, let's take a look at... Christopher B. has Liliana Heretic Healer. When you count her back face... I'll count her back face. Count her front face and back face. I love all her faces. 3-mana 2/3 lifelink. Whenever non-token creature you control dies, exile her. She's going to transform. We also create a 2/2 black zombie creature token. And then we got the -X ability, return target non-legendary creature card with mana value X from your graveyard to the battlefield. You dead skeleton, you'll be a soldier. You'll make a fine soldier around here, if you ask me. All right, our first super chat of the day, coming from the Lord Trevor. Watching from work, donate to chat. Oh, a donation immediately. First time actually catching a stream. What's the concept? Creature cards that will search out creatures or planeswalkers, either putting them into play, or not putting them into your hand, sometimes tutoring them into play, or cards in play that will put cards into play. It's not a creature? Well, the front side is a creature. Look, this is a creature. I will count the back side to this damn thing. It was a little iffy. If anyway, we can give the donation to Christopher B. No, okay, I'm giving it to Tavishel. Squadron Hawk. Oh, yes, the top 10 commander cards that would be in the bulk bin. Number 10, Squadron Hawk. It's a 2-mana 1/1 flyer. When it enters the battlefield, you may search your library for up to 3 cards named Squadron Hawk, not particularly useful in Commander. Reveal them and put them into your hand, then shuffle your library. Wow, that was value back in the day. You don't understand the power. This was Ancestral Recall for some decks. 2 mana, put a creature in play, then you get literally 3 more creatures into your hand, and then you have the power to, like, imagine you Windfall from there. The value. Problem is, Commander players, they'll never understand that value. They'll never. Never gonna happen. Champion of the Parish. Huh? This is definitely okay. This is definitely not. Okay, now moving on. We got Algot with Mother's Yamasaki. Always listen to mom. Okay, we got a 4-mana 2/2 human samurai, partner with itself. So it enters, target player may look up Mother's Yamazaki into their hand from their library. There's another. Oh, it's Mothers. There's 2 mothers. There's nothing wrong with having 2 mothers, let me tell you. As long as you control exactly 2 permanents named Mother's Yamazaki, the legend rule doesn't apply to them. And Samurai, you control get +2/+2 and have Vigilance and Haste. Double the fun. I wish my Lord of Atlantis could look for more Lord of Atlantis. Oh my god. That's a great idea. Wizards, listen to me. Listen to me. Hear me out. Lord of Atlantis barely sees play. Pretty crappy card by today's standards. How about this? The Lord of all of Atlantis. Blue 2/2 creature. All other merfolk get +1/+1 in Island Walk. But when it enters the battlefield, you may look through your library for another Lord of Atlantis. That's the card I need. Thank you, chat. It was all because of you. Thank you so much, Steve Cooper. Elvish Harbinger. I've never even heard of that one. They tack Harbinger on everything. I wonder what the Elvish one will do. Oh, do you want to? I recognize this photo. We have a 3-mana 1/2. Enters the battlefield. You may search your library for an elf card. Reveal it. Shove your library and put that card on top of it. Tap. Also taps for mana. Look, still loyal to the basic ways of the elves. The elves, they add mana. They also search for things. Probably a win condition. Not quite Craterhoof, but what is it? Eldritch? Edrich? I don't remember what the win condition is now. Pay 5, all creatures or all elves get +3/+3 and trample. That's what I'm thinking of right now. Okay, we donate. We got a donate from Steve Cooper to Jasper Rab with Doric, Nature's Warden. 4-mana 3/3, a Tiefling Druid. Isn't Tieflings like hobbits? Vigilance. Enters the battlefield. Search your library for a forest card. Put it on the battlefield. Then shuffle. When it attacks, you may pay 2. If you do, transform her. Okay, what does she transforms into? And an owl, a snowy owl. When it transforms, other legendary creatures you control get +2/+2 and trample. Oh, wait a minute! This card gets disqualified. It didn't search for anything and nothing useful. Oh, you could. Oh, wait a minute. You could get a Dryad Arbor. Okay, I am barely letting you pass on this because you, in theory, get Dryad Arbor with that forest. But any future person, if you're looking for like, yeah, stop it. You're such a smart person, huh, Jasper Rab? Anyone else who pulls this, they're gonna get disqualified. It's not an owl. It's an owl bear. What's going on with this game? Okay, we got Sheelan with Lego Moss. Any relation to Legoland? We have a 3-mana 1/3 human shaman. At the beginning of combat on your turn, create a 2/1 red elemental creature token with trample and haste. Sacrifice at the beginning of the next end step. The beginning of combat on your turn. Search your library for a card. Put on. Okay, so that one saves you. Tap, search your library for a card, put it into your hand, then shuffle. Activate only if 5 or more creatures died this turn. What a sacrifice!
No, God, please, no!
Basically, I have to like basically dump all my friends and play to get a new friend. Panda, thank you so much for your super chat. Shadowborn Apostle been said. It's trash. One Shadowborn Apostle is trash, but what about many Shadowborn Apostles? A deck can have any number of Shadowborn Apostles on the battlefield, and only one is not very intimidating. But if we reach the magical number 666 Shadowborn Apostles, pay a black, sack it, and the six of them, search your library for a demon card, and put it onto the battlefield, then shuffle. Any demon. You can't get Grizzlebrand. Banned. Very, very, very banned. Next up, we got for Ginka with the Bog Glider. One of the worst cards that qualifies. Bog Glider. 3 mana 1/1 flyer. Tap, sacrifice a land. Search your library for a mercenary card with converted mana cost 2 or less, and put that card into play. Hey, don't underestimate putting things into play. The problem with the mercenaries, you have to have a bigger mercenary in play to get a smaller mercenary. It doesn't feel like the board is getting bigger. It's like, oh, we can only find smaller things. Mercenaries. Next up, we got Benjamin Fiend Artisan. This card is actually just gas. Sees legacy play. It's the birthing pod on a creature. Golgari for a 1/1 nightmare. Gets +1/+1 for each creature card in your graveyard. And also for Golgari X, tap, sack another creature, search your library for a creature card with converted mana cost X or less, put it onto the battlefield, then shuffle your library. Activate this ability only anytime you could cast a sorcery. Anytime you can cast a sorcery, you can take over the game with this card. Spectral Maniac, the Urborg Panther. When you have Feral Shadow and Breath Stealer, I have no idea what that is. Urborg. Spruce up your party with an Urborg Panther for 3 mana. It's a 2/2 Night Stalker. Black, sacrifice it, destroy target creature blocking Urborg Panther. You could also sacrifice Feral Shadow, Breath Stealer, and Urborg Panther. Search your library for Spirit of the Night and put it into play as though it were just played. Shuffle your library afterwards. It better be worth throwing away all your other creatures for this thing. You know, when we're looking for reinforcements, generally we're trying to add to the board. A lot of these cards are like, you know, let's sacrifice our board and get something bigger. Okay, we got David Sinclair, the Warren War Leader. Does great things in my white rabbity deck. Yeah, follow the white rabbit. We have a 4 mana 4/4 Rabbit Knight. Offspring 2. I'd like to make some jokes about rabbits multiplying, but I hope it's still PG-13. Okay, whenever you attack, choose 1. Create a 1/1 white rabbit creature token that's tapped and attacking. Attacking creatures you control get +1/+1 until end of turn. Actually, does not count for the show. And I'll explain why. Sorry, when you attack... Okay, no, okay, this one actually counts. ETBs with tokens are not going to count. Offspring wouldn't count, but because when you attack, and that would be next turn, and you get the token, I will count that. I will barely count that. Usually, I'm trying to look for cards that call for like another physical card to put it into the game. But because this is a delayed token, I can count this thing. Lowry Boyer, does Anekthea count? I'll be the judge of that. We got a 5 mana 4/4 Menace. Other enchantment creatures you control also have Menace. When Anekthea enters the battlefield or attacks, exile up to 1 target non-aura enchantment card from your graveyard. Create a token that's a copy of that card, except it's a 3/3 black zombie creature token in addition to its other types. Yes, so for similar reasons, when it attacks, it makes the token. So long, well... I'm not counting things that already come into play with it, because it's like, it's already coming there. They're already there. They came together. They have to call for the reinforcements. Lord Trevor, with Higur the Still Wind, the power of ninja's rule. Oh yeah, ninjutsu! 5 mana 3/4, ninjutsu of 4 mana. Whenever Higure, the Still Wind deals combat damage to a player. You may search your library for a ninja card, reveal it, and put it into your hand. If you do, shuffle your library. Pay 2. Target ninja can't be blocked this turn. That's actually excellent. So a great tutor target. It's a great tutor engine, I should say, and also makes things unblockable. Wait, so things like Puppet Conjurer count? Maybe. You already got a card, Jasper. Binlin, Alpine Guide. 3 mana for a 3/3 human scout. So snow creature as well. Enters the battlefield, you may switch your library for a mountain card, put that card onto the battlefield, tap, then shuffle. Attacks each combat if able. When it leaves the battlefield, sacrifice a mountain. Did not call in reinforcements. Search the library, but it got a mountain. Can you attack with a mountain? Can you block with a mountain? Exactly, you can't. Okay, Pedgeman. Do death triggers count? Protein, absolutely. Hulk. One of the probably the most famous death trigger card in the game. 7 mana, 6/6. When it dies, search your library for any number of creature cards with total mana value 6 or less, and put them onto the battlefield, then shuffle. What's the lore to this thing? Like, what's the flavor? Like, it died and it exploded and a bunch of other creatures come out or something? That's how this thing works? Ecos with the super chats. I hear Rocco Cabaretti Caterer is hiring some chefs. Are they now? Okay, we got the Naya X 3/1. Enters the battlefield. If you cast it, you may search your library for a creature card with mana value X or less. Put it onto the battlefield, then shuffle. You know it's actually a creature? I'll count it. I'll count it. I should count some of these anyhow. I'm just offended by it. Yeah, so like this one counts because it literally looks for another physical card and puts it on the battlefield. It's the rules here. That's part of the rules. There are exceptions. I am the god of this show. I can bend the rules whenever I want to. Lego Draki. We got Marin of Clan Nel Toth. I once played her in a commander game where 2 others had her as a commander. She multiply? So 4 mana for a 3/4 human shaman. Whenever another creature you control dies, you get an experience counter. At the beginning of your end step, choose target creature card in your graveyard. If that card's mana value is less than or equal to the number of experience counters you have, return it to the battlefield. Otherwise, put it into your hand. One way or another. Speaker of the Dead. Speaking of dead, we got the Speaker of the Dead. Ristradin, perhaps the most call for reinforcements kind of creature. Galta? Stampede Tyrant? Okay, we got a dinosaur for 8 mana. It's a 12/12. When it enters the battlefield, put any number of creature cards from your hand onto the battlefield. Oh my god. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. This is like it's a weird show and tell card. For a number of creature cards. Imagine being an Eldrazi. Imagine up against an Eldrazi deck and they play Galta. Oops. We're in for a bad time here. Alisate with Dark Supplicant. With a black 1/1 cleric, tap, sacrifice 3 clerics, search your graveyard, hand, or library for a card named Scion of Darkness. And put it directly into play. If you search your library this way, you have to shuffle it. Next super chat we got from the Cooler King, Llanowar Sentinel. It's the Cooler King, flipping everybody off here in the avatar. Okay, we have a 3 mana 2/3 elf. Comes into play, you can pay 2 additional mana. If you do, search your library for a card named Llanowar Sentinel and put that card into play. Then shuffle your library. Again, we have the top. This is number 9 for top 10 commander cards that are in the bulk bin. Just living out there in that bulk bin over there. Nikachu, only one time S tier. We'll see today. Lynn Civvy. We saw Squadron Hawk already. Our queen, Lynn Civvy. The 3 mana 1/3. People don't know how devastating this card was at the time. This card was an absolute bomb in block constructed. Not that that carries a lot of weight. Does anyone even know what block constructed is? Like, block constructed? You literally had to build decks only from, like, the most recent block. They should, I don't know, maybe they should bring it back. X, tap, search your library for a rebel card with converted mana cost extra or less and put it directly onto the battlefield, then shuffle your library. So it was like the god of all rebels. And also for 3 mana, put target rebel card from your graveyard on the bottom of your library. Is that a Grenzo ability? It's going to be on my mind all day now. I got to look it up. Grenzo, is that the Grenzo thing? Put bottom card of your library into your graveyard. Oh, it's backwards. Okay, so it's inverse Grenzo. This is Grenzo's sister, all right? They're related based on those abilities. Next up, SHG with a Crone Crusader. A red 1/1 human soldier with heroic. Whenever you cast a spell that targets a Crone Crusader, create a 1/1 red soldier creature token with haste. That is one of the weirdest abilities to bring creatures. You have to pump this thing up and you get 1/1 soldiers. It wasn't bad in standard at the time. Do the specific partners count? Since when you play one, you can search the other up? Yep, some people have already mentioned a few partners. Next super chat we got from Elixir. Thanks so much. The Saint Traft and Remcarulus? Saint Traft? Is there like another Saint Traft card? Oh, they're both together. A team. They work together. 3 mana for a 3/4 Spirit Human. When Saint Traft and Carolus becomes tapped, create a 1/1 red human creature token. If this is the first time this ability has resolved this turn, if it's the second time, create a 1/1 blue spirit creature token with flying. And if it's the third time, create a 4/4 white angel creature token with flying. How the hell are you untapping this over and over again? Tap, untap, tap, untap, tap, untap. And whenever you cast a spell that has convoke, untap. Oh, I see, okay. You know, reading the whole card explains the card. Spoiler alert at the... They didn't want to spoil it for us until the very end. You cast Convoke cards, which I don't know why you would do it in this deck, but you get to untap this creature. Julian with the Sea Hunter. Ooh, I know this one. It's looking up some merfolk. Not in a good way, though. It's a 4-mana mercenary. It's a 2/2. Pay 3, tap, search your library for a merfolk card and put that card into play. Then shuffle your library. But it's like they're going to eat them. Or is this like catching Pokemon? It's like, okay... Go, Master of the Pearl Trident. We first battled the Master of the Pearl Trident. We weakened them. We got them in the Master Ball, and then we unleashed them to do our bidding. All right, next we have Just a Random Mage with Corpse Connoisseur. 5 mana 3/3 zombie wizard enters the battlefield. You may search your library for a creature card and put that card into your graveyard. If you do, shuffle your library. All right, for the graveyard shenanigan players. Also, you can unearth this thing for 4 mana. I'm going to assume you can make use of this card. You're sort of halfway here, you know. It's not a full plan to bring the reinforcements. Not a full plan. Oh yeah, the mercenary can find Thassa's Oracle. There we go. We have 2 copies of Thassa's Oracle in one deck. And of course, we got our fellow dragon here. Dragonic with Tiamat. List needs more dragons. Well, we have 1 dragon so far. Wooburg 2 generic for the 7/7 flying dragon god. And when it enters the battlefield, if you cast it, search your library for up to 5 dragon cards, not named Tiamat, that each have different names. Reveal them, put them into your hand. Also, then shuffle. We got Chen Chu Bang with a Nissa Ravane. Is that our last name? Nissa Ravane. The 4 mana 2 loyalty. And not actually creature. To your library for a card. You're close. The problem is this show is about creatures, not planeswalkers. Creatures can find planeswalkers or other creatures, but planeswalkers cannot find creatures. That's the rules around here. Too many planeswalkers cheat. They all get stuff. Okay, Lord Trevor, Bladewing the Risen. Used to be OP? Is it still? Who knows? Maybe. Was this ever broken? 7 mana for a 4/4 zombie dragon flying. When Bladewing the Risen enters the battlefield, you may return target dragon permanent card from your graveyard to the battlefield. 2 mana dragon creatures get +1/+1 until end of turn. All right, we found our combo. There we go. Corpse Connoisseur. Get a creature card put into the graveyard. Step 2. Play your Bladewing the Risen. The deck plays itself. You know what? The deck plays itself. Charlie, Minion of the Mighty, you fool! Let's get that Minion of the Mighty in play. Ha! Behold my stick! I have big stick. I have a feeling this dragon would just destroy them. A red 0/1 kobold. Oh, this is... this person's insane. Menace. Why? Pack Tactics. Whenever Minion of the Mighty attacks, if you attacked with creatures with total power 6 or greater this combat, you can put a dragon creature card from your hand onto the battlefield attacking. Yeah, they're screwed. I don't know why it'd be menacing. It's got to be the stick, right? Look, I got stick. This stick apparently is worth 0 power. Nothing. It is not adding anything to this kobold's ability to attack. It's basically made out of rubber. It's a prop from the local school theater or something. Okay, next up, let's take a look at... We do have super chats. We've got Elixir here. With a puny human like Dragon Master Outcast count. By the way, do you know our Hell's Cube? It's got some fun content. No, if you're part of the Discord, let me know about it later. I'll probably forget about it right now. But if it's interesting, or maybe if I watch the replay to this, I'll take a look at it. We have a red 1/1 human shaman. At the beginning of your upkeep, if you control 6 or more lands, create a 5/5 red dragon creature token with flying. Yes, that's right. We have enough land. We have the land. If we have the land of the lands, we bring all the dragons to our yard. I thought dragons were attracted to treasure. I thought they were attracted to treasure. Castle Star. Krenko Mob Boss. Okay, yeah. Krenko Mob Boss. Probably the best reinforcement creature in some sense. So 4 mana for a 3/3. Tap, create X 1/1 red goblin creature tokens where X is the number of goblins you control. Okay, where's new? Oh no, we have another super chat. Yeah, let's get to GP with the Ranger. Yeah, we have several Captain of Eos cards. Okay, Ranger, Captain of Eos. Let's go with this one. This card is absolutely bonkers, really. It's a 3 mana 3/3 ETB. Search your library for a creature card that costs 1. Put into your hand. You can also sack it. Say your opponents can't cast non-creature spells this turn. You know, your opponent feels like they're ready to combo off. And in response, I'm going to sack this Ranger Captain of Eos. In fact, if some part of their combo requires a sorcery, you can always sacrifice this in response to some of the instants before they go for their big sorcery play. That'll really screw them over. Ranger Captain keeps the things fair and square. Okay, we're going to look at more Magic the Gathering cards that bring on the reinforcements. We got to thank our sponsor today, FusionGamingOnline.com. Place to get all your Magic, all TCG cards. We're talking Magic cards, Pokemon, Flesh and Blood, One Piece, Yu-Gi-Oh! They've got it all. Personally, I prefer the Magic singles, personally. I got myself some Flood Pits Drowners. I got Unable to Scream recently. Very happy to add those to my Modern and Pioneer decks. And if you're looking to upgrade your decks and you want to support the channel, mind you, don't forget to use coupon code Nikachu at checkout when using FusionGamingOnline.com to get 5% off all your purchases. We're also going to thank Mana Traders, the premier place to rent Magic cards on Magic Online. Not only can you play Modern, Pioneer, Standard, and Commander and Dual Commander on Magic Online, Mana Traders also has the Mana Traders series, where every month they have a free roll event, $10,000 in prizes every single month. And when you're a Mana Traders member, your prizes get larger. You can support the channel renting using my Mana Traders link in the description below, or save 10% off your first 2 months using coupon code Nikachu_QTP. Let's get back to them reinforcing recruiting. They're recruiters. You like Flesh and Blood, don't you? Wonder what would happen if this show got blended in with like Pokemon and Flesh and Blood. I'd have a lot more content, that's for sure. Problem is, I don't know anything about any of those games. I can talk a little bit about Professor Oak and Bill from Pokemon. That's it. We're done. Okay, we got Almond. Would Dragon Brood Mother work? I thought we outlawed child labor. Dragon Brood Mother. It's not, well, they got different laws out there in Dragonland. It's a 6 mana 4/4 flyer. At the beginning of each upkeep, put a run 1 red and green dragon creature token with flying and Devour 2 into play. We did Linsivy already. I think from here, I'm going to ban the token generators. I'm going to ban token generators. Must be physical card that it looks for or puts into play. That's the new rule. Or put in the graveyard, I guess. So that, because there's just too many token generators. And it doesn't feel like it's calling for reinforcements. It's not the same. It doesn't have that same feel, how I can put it. Okay, John, thanks so very much for your super chat. Woodland Bellower. The combo enabler. We got 6 mana, 6/5. Enters the battlefield. You can search your library for a non-legendary green creature card with converted mana cost 3 or less and put it onto the battlefield, then shuffle your library. What would you get? So you can search for a green creature card, converted mana cost 3 or less. I want to say I'm going to get Reclamation Sage, but I don't even know what I'm going to get back when I use the Reclamation Sage, to be honest. Not sure. MTG creatures that search for other creatures. Yeah, well, I mean, that would be more straightforward of a title. I just don't know if it'd be as enticing to click on, that's all. You gotta clickbait people. Yeah, I gotta get that. You gotta get that. It's an art. The art of the clickbait. Toilet Duck, who has no card yet. Fergal. Quag Nurturer. Funny story. This creature card creates not a token, technically. The hell does that mean? 4 mana 2/4 Elf Shaman. At the beginning of your end step, conjure a card named Slimy Dual-Leech onto the battlefield if you control no leeches. Otherwise, put a +1/+1 counter on each leech you control. Tap, sack a creature, add any amount of green equal to the sacrificed creature's power. We are conjuring cards. Abzo with Zara. Renegade Recruiter. This is a 5 mana 4/3 human pirate flying. When it attacks, look at defending player's hand. You may put a creature card from it onto the battlefield under your control, tapped and attacking that player or planeswalker. What? Tapped and attacking that player or planeswalker? Oh my goodness, this is insane. Return that creature to its owner's hand at the beginning. Return that creature to its owner's hand at the beginning of the next end step. This is more dangerous than like stealing someone's creature, taking it, and then attacking with it, because you're literally getting something like more expensive than they could even put into play. Oh, it's absolutely insane. The Death of a Bachelor. We got, let's go look at Zamone, Mystery Unraveler. Oh, and great art for this thing too. Manifest, crack it, get a 15. 50, well, how did you get that 15? How many 15/15s are in this game? I think there's only one, and it's not very legal. It's a 4 mana 3/3. Landfall. Whenever a land you control enters the battlefield, manifest dread if this is the first time this ability has resolved this turn. Otherwise, you may turn a permanent you control face up. That works. We did Winota. Absolutely busted. It's probably the best card on today's show. Can we count Applejack if it's not Joda the Unifier? The hell is Applejack? They're literally... This has got to be an unset card. It is! But you donated, so we're going to look at it. It's a 4 mana 4/4. Family Gathering. At the beginning of your end step, put a toy you own onto the battlefield as a 2/2 creature token with that toy's name, colors, and creature types. If the toy has wings, the token has flying. If the toy has a horn, scry 2. If it has neither, create a food token. Okay, I've got this. I've got a money cat over here. So what do we? So what is this? This is a 2/2 Okane cat. There's no wings, so no flying. Do you have a horn? Do we have any horns over here? Nothing. It's got a bow. If it has neither, okay, we got a food token. The Okane cat brings a food token. I also have this pig on some pancakes. It's the best I have at my desk at the moment. None of these are doing anything for me. They only bring food. This actually makes a lot of sense. This actually makes sense to bring food. It actually has a bunch of food on it. And on top of that, it's a pig, so we could eat the pig too. The whole thing is food. All of a sudden I'm Yagra. All the creatures in play are food. David Howler, Spotlight Friction. Spotlight. Oh, sorry, Falcon. Spotlight Falcon. A lot of arena cards because of the Conjuring. 4 mana, 4/3 bird. As an additional cost to cast this spell, you may collect evidence 5. Flying. When it enters the battlefield, if evidence was collected, we conjure a card named Spotlight Falcon into your hand. You know, this, I think they should make some sort of conjure, or maybe conjuring is just literally making tokens. I'm just wondering, is it so bad that we have conjuring actually in the game? Especially for Commander? Maybe it is. Okay, next up, we got Maddie Matson. Thank you very much for your super chat. Had to look for a card with flesh and or blood in the name. Flesh. Writher. Though, to be honest, it's more of a transform. Flesh. Fresh Lither. Disgusting looking card. It's more of a transform than a call for reinforcements. Let's see. Okay, 4 mana for a 3/3 with Transfigure. Sacrifice this creature. Search your library for a creature card with same converted mana cost as this creature and put that card into play. Then shuffle your library. Play only as a sorcery. It's a bit weird. Sacrifices itself for something else. Hopefully a better thing than what it is. Fellblood Streaming says, conjure cards can be in hands while tokens can't, so printing physical conjure cards might work. Yeah, like, is it such a big deal that you put, like, a physical new card that's, like, considered a token in a sleeve and you put into your hand? It's not like Magic the Gathering these days. It's not like Magic these days is played sleeveless. Or not often, I should say. It's the same thing with, like, double-faced cards. Like, if you're playing sleeveless, I'm like, okay, well, it's a little sus over there, you know what I mean? A little sus. Duke Firebird. Arena Rector. Does this get a creature, though? Oh, no, it gets a Planeswalker, which is devastating. 4 mana for a 1/2. When it dies, you may exile it. And if you do, search your library for a Planeswalker card, put it onto the battlefield, then shuffle your library. This makes me wonder, we should do a show about avenging the death of people. This card... Cards that avenge the death of somebody else. That would work with this card. Kind of also with no card yet. Abhorrent Oculus. Oh, the new chase card. Big Eyeball. Just like in the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. 3 mana, 5/5 I'm talking about the video game, by the way. There was no Big Eyeball in... Or I guess there was the Technodrome. Okay, anyway, 3 mana, 5/5. As an additional cost to cast this spell, exile 6 cards from your graveyard. Flying, and at the beginning of each opponent's upkeep, manifest Dread. So you look at the 2 top cards of your library, put one of them face down as a 2/2 creature, and then you put the other one into your graveyard. Lewis got sniped? Oh, did you get sniped? Doomed. What happened? Did you get sniped? What happened? I didn't even see your super chat. Warren Instigator? I don't understand. I don't see your super chat. Did I dump the wrong super chat? Oh, you might have got... someone... I guess it wasn't a super chat, but someone else took your card anyway. Warren Instigator. You're gonna get a card here, Lewis. You're gonna get your card today. It's a red 1/1 Goblin Berserker. It's going berserk. It's going crazy. Gonna fish out all the fish in the pond over there, in the reef. Okay. Whenever it deals damage to an opponent, you may put a Goblin creature card from your hand onto the battlefield. These are dangerous cards. This one's particularly dangerous. Two combat damage steps. Hit twice. Put 2 goblins in play. One of them could be. One of them definitely going to be Muxus, that's for sure. Yeah, drop some more fun. Okay, Elixir, thanks so much for your super chat. We've got Doomed Artisan. Three mana 1/1 Human Artificer. Sculptures you control can't attack or block. Well, I didn't know they could do either in the first place. At the beginning of your end step, create a colorless sculpture artifact creature token with this creature's power and toughness are each equal to the number of sculptures you control. So the deal is what? The artisan dies and the sculptures come to life. I want to say there's some sort of philosophy behind this. Like when you're looking at the wall, it exists, but if you turn your head around, like it can be moving and like playing tricks on you. How many people have no card yet? Islarf, no card yet. Pan Glacial Worm. This is gonna work for today's show. I know what this card is. While you're searching your library, you may play Panglacial Worm for your from your library. Yeah, so the show is more about the tutor that you have to mention, not the Panglacial Worm itself. Bell. Alpine Houndmaster. We have a 2-mana 2/2 Human Warrior. Enters the battlefield. You may search your library for a card named Alpine Watchdog and a card named Igneous Cour. Reveal them, put them into your hand, then shuffle your library. Whenever Alpine Houndmaster attacks, it gets +X/+0 until end of turn. Rex is the number of other attacking creatures. Doesn't matter if it's Hound or not. Chen! Goblin Wizard. You're a wizard, Goblin. Yes, you are. 4 mana 1/1. Tap. You may put a Goblin permanent card from your hand into play. What the hell? It's just Goblin Piper. Pay a red. Target Goblin gains protection from white until end of turn. Okay. Guess they really needed that protection from white back then. Is this reserve? It's a reserveless card. It's like $60. They don't make these cards like they used to. They just don't. Puppet of Shadows. Colossal Chorus. Okay, 8 mana for starting intensity 2. No, this is a sorcery. It's disqualified. It's not a creature. Tommy with Ali Rios. Entrapped. This is the 3 mana 2/3 human. Alarios Enraptured enters the battlefield tapped. Alarios does an untap during your untap step if you control a reflection. Oh my god, where's Winter Fox? Is this where reflection counters became a thing? When Alarios enters the battlefield, create a 3/2 blue reflection creature token. Someone got to just break that mirror, splash that pond. Get Ali Rios to stop looking at themselves. Pacers fan forever. Thanks so much for your super chat. Preeminent captain. Aye, captain. The preeminent of all captains. That's a hobbit. 3 mana 2/2. First strike. Attacks. You may put a soldier creature card from your hand onto the battlefield, tapped and attacking. Excellent card. It's a beautiful one. Nightmare Incarnation with Mora. Urborg Haunt. Here. 3 mana 3/2. Spirit Wizard. Menace. Whenever Mora, Urborg Haunt, deals combat damage to a player, return to the battlefield target creature card in your graveyard that was put there from the battlefield this turn. So we need a little bit of work here. So we got this thing on the battlefield. We do have to attack. We have to deal damage. Before we deal damage, we need to make sure. Hold on, where did it come from? Put into the graveyard that was put there from the battlefield. This is a card that's really hard to make work. I guess you have to sacrifice the creature, attack, deal damage, and then you get the card. Lesthian. Ooh, Angel of Glory's Rise. That's not the real art. That's the real art. 7 mana for a 4/6 Angel. Flying. When Angel of Glory's Rise enters the battlefield, exile all zombies, then return all human creature cards from your graveyard to the battlefield. Everything. It's a weird one. I am the savior of the zombies. Enters the battlefield. Oh, sorry, no. So you exile the zombies, but you return all the humans back to the battlefield. I got a little mixed up. Drain Hermit doesn't count because brings tokens to the battlefield. No tokens allowed. Must physically bring cards. Physically get cards. Physical cards from hand, library, graveyard to the battlefield. We have a super chat. Lord Trevor. I got sniped. Mine was Bladewing the Risen. And it still can. No, I guess you got sniped. We did that like really early though. Super early. That was like 1,000,000 years ago. Okay, we're gonna donate that super chat to Henrik. Rot Hulk. Rotting around here. We got 7 mana for a 5/5 zombie. It's got menace. Frankly, if there were 10 people in front of this, I think they would all run away. When Rot Hulk enters the battlefield, return up to X target zombie creatures from your graveyard to the battlefield, where X is the number of opponents you have. The more opponents, the better it is. Benjamin wants Arla Palani. Sounds like the name of a drink. I'd like an Arna Palani, please. Is it Arla? Oh, sorry, it's Arla. No, still Arla P. I don't know what this is. Arla. It doesn't exist. Is this a custom card? Atla Palani. Atla. Okay. It's a 4 mana of 2/3. I was almost gonna look up on Google if it was a custom card. When someone has such a unique, specific creature name, and it like doesn't show up no matter what, then I look it up on Google, and then turns out it was like a card submitted like on the our custom Magic forum. All right, 2/3, pay 2, tap. Make an egg. Whenever an egg you control dies, reveal cards on the top of your library. Haha. Until you reveal a creature card, put that card onto the battlefield, and the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. Interesting. Benjamin says, you said birthing pod on a creature, so I raised to prime. Ooh, the prime speaker. Prime time here. Vanifar. 4 mana, tap. Sacrifice another creature, search your library for a creature card with converted mana cost equal to 1 plus the sack creature's converted mana cost. Then put that card onto the battlefield, then shuffle your library. Activate this ability only anytime you can cast a sorcery. Strictly worst Fiend Artisan. Strictly worse. Osset Pride brings tokens. I'm disqualifying all the tokens from here. Must physically get cards. Hexanort. Bilbo Baggins of the Shire. Sorry, no, this is just Bilbo. Birthday Celebrant. Sorry, Bilbo, they don't care about your last name. Abs and colors for the 2/3. If you would gain life, you gain that much life plus 1 instead. 5 mana, tap. Exile Bilbo. Search your library for any number of creature cards, put them onto the battlefield, then shuffle. Activate only if you have a 111 or more life. I do not remember him doing that in the movie. So, I mean, for this to be a flavor win, it's like himself at his own birthday, and there's no one there. Nothing. Just nobody. And then he's like, and now I'm going to perform a magic trick. And he voluntarily disappears, and then all of a sudden, everyone just appears there for his birthday. That would be the flavor. That did not happen in the movie. Although, do you know what? Maybe it happened in the book. Who knows? Maybe that was a book thing. Muxus. Muxus. We talked about Muxus earlier. Forgot that it actually qualifies for the show too. 6 mana 4/4 Goblin Noble. When Muxus Goblin Grandee enters the battlefield, reveal the top 6 cards of your library and put all the Goblin cards with converted mana cost 5 or less from among them onto the battlefield. Yeah, very interesting. The cutoff was at 5 mana, as if that matters. I mean, 6 cards, reveal the top 6 cards, put all goblins. It's like a death sentence one way or another. Whenever Muxus attacks, it also gets +1/+1 for each other goblin for each other goblin you control. They don't even need to be attacking. They could be sitting at home on the couch. Fungi Grenzo. Yeah, we looked this card up earlier. Dungeon Warden. Does it actually do that? Enters the battlefield with X +1/+1 counters. Pay 2. Put the bottom card of your library into your graveyard. If it's a creature card with power less than or equal to Grenzo's power, put it onto the battlefield. That works. I think at this point everyone's got a card. Does everyone get a card? Was everyone satisfied? Tristanario, I'm not sure about you. Okay, the Raise Boar. Oh, we saw this card yesterday. 5 mana for a 6/6 Boar God, trample. And whenever it attacks, you may put a creature card from your hand onto the battlefield tapped and attacking. Return that creature to your hand at the beginning of the next end step. And when it dies or is put into exile from the battlefield, you may put it into its owner's library, 3rd from the top. This is the first card that's like, all right, put a creature in play, and then you just like bounce it back. All right, I take it back. It's not actually going to be there for forever. Islarf is like, Urza does bring cards. Yeah, it does. So, I mean, in theory. So, ETB, you get a construct token. You can tap the artifacts for blue. Pay 5, shuffle your library, then exile the top card of it. Until in turn, you may play that card without paying its mana cost. If you somehow put enough creatures in your deck, yes, that is possible. No guarantees, though. Especially since, like, it's an Urza deck. It's probably just loaded with artifacts. Mr. Fellblood, that's so you can't put another Muxus on with a Muxus. Ah! Talking about the Muxus card. You know what? You're right. 100%, Mr. Fellblood. Actually, would it matter? So you go Muxus into Muxus. You can go into a clone. Because you could literally... Are there any Goblin clones? Are there any Shapeshifter clones? There's got to. So there's got... Ooh. Fly. Ah! Nikachu's got his fly swatter. I don't know where the jerk went, though. You live another hour, damn it. You live another hour. Okay, we got another super chat from Elixir. Thanks so much. Sphinx's Herald. Sphinx. This is a blue 1/1 Vidalcan Wizard. Pay 3, tap. Sacrifice a white creature. A blue creature. A black creature. We're going to get something good out of this, right? Search your library for a card named Sphinx Sovereign and put it into play. Then shuffle your library. I guess the flavor of this is like, all right, you deal with this. We're running. We're going to go back home. You know card yet, Evan? Jalira Master Polymorphist. 4 mana 2/2, pay 3, tap, sack a creature, reveal cards on the top of your library until you reveal a non-legendary creature card. Put that card onto the battlefield and the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. Little poopy, you can't get creature cards, big deal. What's so wrong with that? Why can't I get legendaries? Carbonek with Scion Summoner. I summon you for jury duty. 3 mana for a 2/2 Eldrazi drone. Enters the battlefield, put a 1/1 colorless Eldrazi signed creature token onto the battlefield. It has to sacrifice this creature, add colors to your mana pool. Enters the battlefield. Oh, it makes token. Disqualified. We're not counting tokens anymore. Because there's like a billion of them. There's so many token generators. The tokens being made left, right, and center. Bryce with Kalia the Vast. Four mana for a 2/2 flyer. When it attacks an opponent, you may put an angel, demon, or dragon creature card from your hand onto the battlefield tapped and attacking that opponent. You know what? You could put an angel. You could put Angel of Glory's Rise. I wonder what's the longest combo of like tutors that you can like chain together. Like you put an angel in play. Sorry, you attack with this. You attack with Kalia. You put an angel in play. The Angel of Glory's Rise brings a human back from the graveyard. The human then tutors up something else. You know, I wonder what's the longest chain of stuff that you can do. What's the mirror that gets another mirror? I don't know. I'm not one with the mirrors. We got Akul, the Unrepentant. Best Scorpion, Dragon, Rogue, and MTG. Red, red, black, black, 5/5. It is a Scorpion, Dragon, Rogue. I guess big stinger for a tail. Flying Tramples, that sacrifice 3 other creatures. You may put a creature card from your hand onto the battlefield, activate only as a sorcery, and only once each turn. Make your own Shadowborn Apostle Demon thingamabobber. Next. Okay, now we're getting to like just people no 2 cards yet. Okay, Drover of the Swine? This is 5 mana, 5/5 human warlock. Okay, conjure a card of your choice from 3 pigs spellbook onto the battlefield. What the hell is that? Return up to 3 target boar creature cards with different names from your graveyard to the battlefield. Okay, that I understand. I don't know how many good boars there are. There we have, oh, someone with no card. Z-Man Vader. Shield Wall Sentinel. And a cool card to get is Drift of Phantasms. Remember that one, Drift of Phantasms, everyone. 4 mana for a 1/3 golem with Defender. Enters the battlefield. You may search your library for a creature card with Defender. Reveal it. Put it into your hand and shuffle. The Defender Finder. Yes, the defenders have to stick together. Gotta defend together. Elixir Dono for someone with no card yet. Well, I don't know how many opportunities there are left. I think everyone got a card so far. You didn't get a card? I was like 99%. Unless I might have disqualified you. It's a problem. When I disqualify people, I can't remember. I just remember I gave you a chance. Which of the Moors? Which of the Moors? Sorry, which of the Moors? This of the Moors. It is a 5 mana 4/4 human warlock with that touch. At the beginning of your end step, if you gain life this turn, each opponent sacrifices a creature, and you return up to 1 target creature card from your graveyard to your hand. That's a good deal. I gave you a card at the beginning of the show. What are you talking about? Bell loves Defender cards. We got Doran fans in the house. A lot of Doran fans. We're getting a lot of hope for Prismatic Bridge. Three mana 1/4. Vigilance. Add 1 mana of any color. Other legendary creatures you control have vigilance and adds 1 mana of any color. But there's a backside. The Bridge. It's a 5 mana. Oh, it's Aurora Borealis. I should get this from my wife. She really likes the Northern Lights and Aurora Borealis. I really don't care about it. At the beginning of your upkeep, reveal cards from the top of your library until you reveal a creature or planeswalker card. Put that card onto the battlefield and the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. I will count it. It's $15. Screw it. I'm not going to get it. Oh, that's my bad. I thought it stood for something else. Give it to someone else, my bad. Yeah, NCY means no card yet. All right, there was a super chat for someone with no card yet. We're going to get to Rodriguez. Ancient Brass Dragon. And that's why when you see people say N2CY, it's no 2 cards yet. Because there's a point where everyone got a card. We got to spread the love to everyone. Everyone got to be part of the show. Everyone got to be a part of the show at least once before they're part of the show twice. Okay, we got 7 mana, 7/6 Elder Dragon. A lot of dragons that tutor out other dragons. When it deals combat damage to a player, you're going to roll a d20. When you do, put any number of target creature cards with total mana value X or less from your graveyard onto the battlefield under your control, where X is the result. That is insane. The Aurora Borealis is at this time of the day in this part of the country, localized entirely within this stream. I feel like I don't know about the rest of everyone else, but like the Aurora Borealis is happening like every day. That's what it's feel. I think it's happened. There's been more Aurora Borealises this year than any other year. Okay, next up, Michael Ing, Katerin Overlord. 7 mana for a 7/5 mercenary. Sacrifice a creature. We can regenerate the Overlord. Pay 6, tap, search your library for a mercenary card with converted mana cost 6 or less and put that card into play. I'm just wondering, like, if you play this in, say, a changeling deck, are they any good? I should look up a changeling deck, because they sound like absolute jank. Like, what's buffing these changelings? Just Morophon? Charlie says, I proxy a bridge deck for $75 instead of $18,000. Yep. Stay away from... And I bet a good chunk of that money was just spent on, like, Mishra's Workshop. Okay, what else do we have here? Puppet of Shadows. Got disqualified, Soul Performer. 4 mana for a 2/2... Technically Acorn card. Super disqualified. More disqualified cards. Who do we not have here? Are we doing playtestless on cards? Only if you super chat. Those are BS cards. They don't exist. Like this one. This one is disqualified. That's not a real card. Mason, I don't know if you got a card. Gulta. Oh, I think we did Gulta. Stampede Tyrant. Yeah, we did Gulta. Sorry about that. We got Jesse. Caterins were a guild of assassins. Oh, that's interesting. Julian, let's look up Avarax. Sounds like the name of some prescription medication. Ask your doctor if Avarax is right for you. 5 mana for a 3/3 beast with haste. Enters the battlefield. You can search your library for a card named Avarax, reveal it, put it into your hand, then shuffle. Some side effects might be it gets +1/+1 whenever you pump it with 2 mana. Do not attack into 4 toughness creatures. Or sorry, do not attack into 3 power creatures. Side effects might include the irritability and the inability to relax. Yeah, they always do Galta. Yeah, everyone does Galta. How about Nikachu's favorite card, the Apex Devastator? It might get a creature, it might not. It's just like double Cascade. It could be, it could not. Get us back to Mercadia. Where are the Caterans? I must know. Is there okay? We'll get Goblin. Whoops, Goblin Lackey. Red 1/1. Deal damage to a player. You may put a Goblin permanent card from your hand onto the battlefield. A classic. And then old boy with, I want to see, what is this? Sphinx Ambassador. The Ambassadors of the Sphinx. 7 mana 5/5. Whenever it deals combat damage to a player, search that player's library for a card. And then that player names a card. If you search for a creature card that isn't the named card, you may put it onto the battlefield under your control. Then that player shuffles their library. Not completely sure I understand this card, but basically I understand. Okay, then that's it for the show. Thank you very much, everybody. Oh, we have one more super chat. You super chat anymore after this? I'm gonna eat it. I'm gonna eat your super chats. Soul Performer. Oh yeah, you want to get this thing on the show? You know, I'm like 99% certain this is just Jasper Rab, so I don't even think this is just a Jasper Rab account. It's a 4 mana 2/2 Elf Performer. Tap, add double tap. Activate only once each turn. What the hell does that mean? While activating an ability, use tap rather than tapping the permanent to pay for tap. Activate only once each turn. Well, activating an ability, use tap. Oh yeah, it adds double. Oh, it acts it like mana. That's right. It adds it like it's treating the tap symbol like it's mana to your mana pool. And then so you have 2 taps that you can use on other cards. Okay. You got found out. I know the style of your accounts here. I know the style of your accounts. Okay, that's it for the show today. Thanks for everyone for being here. As usual, you got to be here. If you want to be part of the show, you got to be here at 3 p.m. Central Standard Time. Thanks to everyone who supports the show. If you're a patron on Patreon, a member on YouTube, or you super chat to be part of the show, or even super chat so other people are part of the show. And thanks to everyone who shows up here today. People like Jasper Rab, Charlie, Old Boy, Ferginka, Bell, Steve Cooper, Benjamin, Nightmare Incarnation, Hexenort, Elixir, Kano, Z-Man Vader, Raznab, Julian, because you are all the show. So as usual, my coffee crew, keep brewing up them coffees, and we'll keep brewing up the magic. Take care of yourselves, and I will see you at the next cup.